What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Wrestling City. As always, I am your mayor, Taylor, and this is your Monday Night Raw review for December 8th, 2025. Tonight's Raw was okay. Um, it seems like to me that they're just ready to get to Washington D.C. this weekend for Saturday night's main event. That's what it felt like to me when I was watching the show. There were a few things that happened that I enjoyed tonight. I'll get into some of that, but it was just an okay show. It wasn't great. It wasn't a bad show. It was okay. It was watchable. So I guess that's a good thing. I guess it was at least watchable, somewhat entertainment that we got on tonight's show. But yeah, it just seems like they're really wanting to just get to this weekend because on paper they're giving us a pretty good card. Now there's only 4 matches so far. They announced another one tonight. So Saturday night's main event this weekend, and it's not just any ordinary, your typical Saturday night's main event that they've been doing since they brought the show back last year. It's John Cena's last match. He'll be having his last match. So you're going to have that. You're going to have Cody Rhodes. He will be taking on new NXT champion Oba Femi. You will have Sol Ruka. She'll take on Bailey. And then you will have our Raw Tag Team champions, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. They are taking on the team of Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Javon Evans from NXT, Leon Slater from TNA, and that's crazy to me that they're allowing a TNA guy on a WWE show on a pretty much a main roster show. Because usually when we see these NXT guys, these TNA guys, excuse me, we only see him when it's on NXT. And the only time we did see a TNA wrestler on a main roster show, it was WrestleMania when Joe Hendry took on Randy Orton. But that show's shaping up to be, on paper, it looks like it's going to be the best show that they put on all year. So we got that to look forward to. But yeah, I mean, I'll get into this Raw. Um, I'll go over some of the stuff that happened. So we kicked off tonight's show with Gunther. He spoke about his upcoming match this weekend against the greatest of all time, John Cena. So the crowd, right from the start, chants, "We want Cena." So he lets the crowd chant, "We want Cena" for a beat before telling them not to get their hopes up. John's not here tonight. We all knew that, and he says that Gunther says that his time is now. He said submitting LA Knight gave him one of the greatest honors of his career, and in 5 days, he'll be the last opponent and the last of the career of John Cena. He says 17 world championships, all that on the road, hustle, loyalty, respect, all of that. John Cena is the greatest sports entertainer of all time, but on Saturday, he's going to face the best professional wrestler of all time. Gunther may not be wrong about that. Gunther, in my opinion, is the best wrestler on the face of the earth right now. Men's wrestler. If you want to split it up into female and male, female is probably Iyo SKY. But male wrestler, Gunther didn't lie when he said that. He says, never give up. He says, never give up. Well, he's going to do something nobody's done before. He's going to break John's spirit, push him around, bully him, drop him on his head, wrap his arms around his neck, and squeeze everything he has until the last bit of hustle, loyalty, and respect has left his body. He says, until there's only one way out, the one thing that the one thing he said he'd never do, he's going to force him to give up. And then that was it. That was it. That was it from Gunther. It was very simple, very straight to the point, and that's what you get from a Gunther promo. That's that's what you get from a Gunther promo. He's not going to go out there and sugarcoat it. He's going to tell you how it is. He's going to tell you what his intentions are, and that's it. And then when it comes time to get in that ring, he's going to back it up. So, I mean, there really wasn't much else for. I mean, I don't know what else we expected. I mean, the match is happening this week, this Saturday. We didn't find out this match until last Friday, just a couple of days ago. So, you know, it kind of it just writes itself. Last match ever. So, and it still blows my mind how these people are still upset that this is the match that we're getting. Yes, well, I mean, I get that it was predictable. I mean, I think we once this tournament came out that and Gunther was one of the participants, I think we all knew that Gunther was going to win this tournament and go on to face John Cena. The tournament could have been a whole lot better. I wish we could have seen some better matchups, a few upsets throughout the tournament, but that's not what we got. So I'm looking forward to the match. I mean, it's Gunther, like I said, the best professional wrestler that we have right now. John Cena, his last match. You already know John Cena. He's gonna go out there. It's his last match ever. He's gonna give it everything he's got. I'm hoping he pulls out some of those moves that he was using back in 2015. I mean, he was doing things that we have never seen him do before. He's done a few of those throughout his farewell tour, toward the end of it. He did the Code Red, and then he may pull out the Springboard Stunner, and there's a few other moves that he's done that he's added to his repertoire over the years. So, and then it's Gunther. Gunther could have a great match with a fucking broomstick. So, uh, after that, we had Iyo SKY versus Kairi Sane. Iyo SKY, she won by pinfall with a diving moonsault. So that was that. And then we go backstage. Paul Heyman is chatting with the Braun and Braun connection when Logan Paul rolls up. Paul asks if anybody saw Rey Mysterio slap him in the face last week. Bronson Reed says he didn't like it, and Logan agrees. Braun Breaker gets up and asks if he wants to handle it, and Paul says he does. So Braun says they will handle it, and Logan asks Paul Heyman for a side chat. Paul Heyman says Logan's never had backup like this before, and Logan tells Paul to make sure they know that if they get in trouble, he's their backup too. Heyman tells him he thought he couldn't respect him any more than he did, but he does, and give him the brass knuckles just in case. So then we go to commercial break, and we come back from commercial break. Rey Mysterio makes his entrance for his match against Finn Balor, but before the match could happen, Logan Paul blindsides him and beats him down. Mysterio gets the better of him after a big move, sets him on the second rope in a masked man. So we see the masked man tonight. We saw him at Survivor Series. Austin Theory, who is the masked man. When Masked Man comes up to lay him out with a super kick and a blackout, the curb stomp, before belling out through the crowd. Mysterio gets up, and then Logan hits him, knocks him out with the loaded punch, and then poor Finn Balor. He just kind of had to sit back and just let this happen. So we did not get to see this Finn Balor match. But LA Knight, he comes out to makes a save and says that if Seth Rollins, he says if it was Seth Rollins, he's gonna have an enormous. He's gonna have an aneurysm. Excuse me, from stomping his head in. He thought the vision sucked bad enough before Logan joined, and watching him like this, watching something like this, he's gonna make him pay. He's not gonna pay Friday. He's not gonna pay Saturday. He wants him to pay right here in Kansas City. So then that set up our main event for tonight, which was Logan Paul versus LA Knight. All right, let's keep going. All righty. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, they took on the War Raiders for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Uh this match was, I don't know, it was a little sloppy. Little sloppy. And then hell, the Cage Side Seats didn't even say much about this. They said, "Well, we had a good run. It's been what, 3 solid months uh on oh, wait a minute. Okay, I guess I don't know what happened here. I guess they didn't write any notes for this for this match, but yeah, the match was sloppy. Um it was an okay match. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, they won by pinfall after AJ Styles hit the phenomenal forearm on Ivar, and then they won the tag team titles. But then after the match, so the New Day, they were on commentary. They get in the ring, and then they're getting ready to square up with the tag team champions. And then next thing you know, all you hear is Usos, and then Jay Uso's theme song hits, and I'm like, okay. But then we saw Jimmy Uso. He's with Jay Uso. They make their 5 minute entrance down to the ring. They get in the ring, and then of course we have to do the run it back, Oos. Let's go, Oos. Run it back, Oos. And then they run it back for a second time. Oh Lord. So they run it back, and then Jimmy Uso gets on the mic, and he says they're back in the tag team scene. He says because he said they've been taking L after L after L lately. He said he saw his brother crash out last week, and he waited for him to get back to the hotel room with one question on his mind: "What we doing, Oos?" Jay says he'll tell you what we're doing. They're going to get back to themselves, block the doors, block them all, block out all the haters. He says they're going to put the tag team division on notice because they are making their return to the tag team division. And I think this is a good spot for Jey Uso. It gets Jey Uso out of the singles run that he's been in, because I think his single run has ran its course. He won the Intercontinental Champion as a singles wrestler. He won the World Heavyweight Championship as a singles wrestler. There's not much else for him to do when it comes to him being a singles wrestler, and his matches as a singles wrestler aren't the best. He's definitely a lot better than he's a lot better being in a tag team, holding the tag team rope with his tag team brother, Jimmy Uso. So I think this is the right direction for Jey Uso, and it gives both him and Jimmy Uso to do something, especially Jimmy, because he's just kind of been, you know, I feel like they just look past him and they just put all their attention, all their eggs into the Jey Uso basket. So, and I'm hoping that since they're back together, can we please get the Usos theme song back together? Because Jey Uso's theme song says it's just me. Well, no, it's not just you. It's you and your brother. So let's get the day one ish, the Usos, the Uso Penitentiary. Let's welcome these fools to the Uso Penitentiary. Let's get that theme song. But Jey Uso can still do his yeet to that music, I'm sure. So, but yeah, they announced that they're back in the tag team division. So, All right. After that, we had a Stephanie Vaquer interview. She was interviewed by Jackie Redmond in the ring. She says that she wants to face everyone, and she is not someone who talks too much. She speaks through her actions, and she can prove she's the best wrestler in the world. And I like how she threw this in here, and she said, "And no, it's not because of Devil's Kiss." She's not wrong. I feel like WWE has made her just she can do so much more than just a devil's kiss. But I wish we could see more of her in the ring. But it feels like the only thing that WWE cares about it's just her getting her devil's kiss because that's pretty much the only thing that she does that gets a reaction. I mean, she got a good reaction tonight, but let her let her be the best version of herself and let her just go out there do what she does best, and that's be a pro wrestler. You know, she can do the devil's kiss, but that's just not all she is. We need to go back to the NXT Stephanie Vaquer. So, but then out of nowhere we got Nikki Bella, and when that music hit, I literally let out, "Oh my gosh, can we please not do this again?" She comes out. She says Kansas City doesn't deserve her presence as a Hall of Famer, a legend, and a celebrity. She's so not done with Stephanie Vaquer. Well, that didn't last long because Raquel Rodriguez comes out of the crowd, pulls Nikki off the apron, and then lawn darts her straight into the ring post. Raquel Rodriguez gets back in the ring. She speaks in Spanish before telling Vaquer to name the place and name the time, and that she is going to kick her ass and take her title. So I'm not sure what's next. I mean, it looks like Raquel Rodriguez, and I'm okay with that. You know, Raquel Rodriguez, she's improved a lot in 2025, but do I think she's ready to be in a world championship match? No, but I'm okay with this because I don't know who else you'd put her in the ring with. You could do that Liv Morgan match, but I think it's too soon. I think you need to wait and do that. You've got Roxanne Perez. You could go to that, but I just feel like those two matches, I think you could wait a little bit before you get to those matches. So for now, I think Raquel Rodriguez would do, as long as it's not Nikki Bella, anybody but Nikki Bella, and I'm fine with that. So we come back from commercial break, and then we are in the Judgment Day clubhouse. Finn Balor is happily chatting about Logan Paul getting him out of his match against Rey Mysterio, and Dominic Mysterio wonders who that Max Man could be. Well, it's Austin Theory, so that's who it is. Raquel Rodriguez rolls up, and Liv Morgan gives her. She doesn't look too happy that Raquel Rodriguez is just throwing her name into the world title picture. Um, so Raquel Rodriguez walks into the clubhouse. Liv Morgan gives her some guff for not clearing her match with her first. And when Raquel is hurt, Liv says she can't wait to see her win the world title, and then gives Roxanne Perez a quick pep talk about how if Raquel is going for a singles title, that means they're going to go after the tag titles. Now, when Liv Morgan said that why didn't you let me know that you were going after the world title? Raquel Rodriguez said, I didn't know we had to run everything by you now. And Liv was like, oh, no, you don't, no. That, that's fine. You know what? You go do that. You go get your world title match. I'm going to be happy for you no matter what. And then Raquel leaves, and then she goes and says she's going to go talk to Adam Pearce to get that world title match set up. Um, Here we are again with the tension between the Judgment Day members, and then I get that we probably could have got a split up sooner if the Liv Morgan injury didn't happen. So now it just looks like they're just picking up from where they left off when Liv was there, and she didn't have to sit on the sidelines with that shoulder injury. So next up, we had Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez. So I'll pick up with this match after the commercial break here. So we did get a commercial break. All right, so Perez working the arm, whip across, duck under, big crossbody from Valkyria. Nope. Lariat's keeping Roxanne off her feet. Kick combination, Enziguri headed up to the top. Big diving crossbody, still just the two. Fighting over a guillotine choke, Lyra suplexes her into the ropes, but Perez snaps her arm over. Off the ropes, tilt-a-whirl takedown, handspring knee drop for a near fall, and then into a Fujiwara armbar. Bring bringing back, wrenching at Valkyria's shoulder. Valkyria refuses to tap, floats over, thinking powerbomb, blocked. German suplex counters, and Lyra is fired up. Fireman's carry, but then Liv Morgan up on the apron, running interference. Bailey counters, and Roxanne drop kicks her to the floor. Small package from Valkyria. Fireman's carry. Roxanne Perez floats out of it. O'Connell roll for two. Then she, when she kicks out, Lyra Valkyria got sent to the ropes, and Liv Morgan was still down on the rope, on the apron after Bailey swept her legs out from underneath her. And then that allowed Liv to rake the eyes of Lyra Valkyria. That set up Roxanne for the Pop Rocks, and then 1, 2, 3, and that was it. So Roxanne Perez picked up the win over Lyra Valkyria, and then her and Liv just kind of celebrate in the ring, and then that was that. So main event time. Well, we got through this show pretty quickly. Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot that happened tonight. It just seems like they just wanted to get this show out of the way because it just seems like they just want to get to the Saturday night's main event. I mean, and it was pretty obvious that they wanted to do that because throughout the majority of the show, they had the countdown to tell you the how many days are left and then how many hours, minutes, and seconds are left until we get to John Cena's final match. It's 4 days, and so I'll pick up with this match from the commercial break as well after the commercial break between Logan Paul and LA Knight. All right, so back from commercial break. Paul with a gallon throw, so close. Knight back into it with right hands, cut off with a front kick off the ropes. Head of steam, big body avalanche, and then a side Russian leg sweep, drawing Logan up, bouncing him off the turnbuckles, jumping neck breaker, still not enough. And then Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker come down to the ramp in a vicious high crossbody, gets Logan a near fall. Putting boots tonight, LA mounts a comeback, diving elbow drop, knocking Breaker off the apron, but Reed drops him with a headbutt, while referee Danlino is admonishing Braun. He walks over and he sees that LA Knight is down, so he obviously knew that Bronson Reed did something, so he tells them to get the hell out of here, pretty much tosses them from ringside. And then Knight clobbers Bronson Reed with a baseball slide kick through the ropes, beating Logan down on the desk. The Masked Man makes his second appearance tonight and takes LA Knight out with a curb stomp onto the announce table and then throws him back in the ring. Logan Paul gets up, gets on the top rope, and hits a 5-star frog splash for the 1, 2, 3. And then we get a post-match. The Vision holds Knight in position for a spear from Breaker, and then Reed drops the tsunami splash. Not just one, he hits two. And then we go to commercial break. We come back from a commercial break. He said, Paul Heyman has the mic. He says he doesn't understand why they're booing when they live in a hellhole, and says he can't tell whether this is Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri. but he can tell you that that on the first anniversary of Netflix and WWE joining together, you will have a new world heavyweight champion, and his name is Braun Breaker. I'm not even going to try to do that again, how Paul Heyman says it. He says, all right, and then Braun Breaker gets on the mic. Braun Breaker gets on the mic and he says he doesn't buy this new nice guy CM Punk. All of a sudden, he comes back to WWE and he follows the rules and takes pictures with young talent so people can say how terrific he is. He's a fraud. Imagine preaching your entire career every single week. I'm straight edge. I've never done drugs in my life. And then you turn around looking like the biggest crackhead the world's ever seen. He says he doesn't want to fight this nice guy Punk. And if he's going to show up, he might as well stay at home and forfeit the title. No, he wants to face the old CM Punk from 2011, 2012, 2013, the guy that beat The Rock and went on a historic 434-day title reign, who young Braun thought was the greatest to ever lace up a pair of boots. So he gets on his hands and his knees and he's begging CM Punk to please give him the old CM Punk because he wants to beat the greatest ever. Because if he doesn't get that version of Punk, he's going to destroy him, send him to the hospital. Braun going to break you, take your title, and he said he might even take his wife too. Oh, Lord. And then they show on the Jumbotron that LA Knight was being carried backstage with some security guards. So then Bronson Reed and Logan Paul, they see this and they rush to the back to finish him off. Braun says he's going to make things real simple for Punk. On January 5th, it's going to be a spear. 1, 2, 3. So then we go backstage. Reed and Paul are beating up on LA Knight, put him through a table, but LA Knight gets back up, so they resume beating him down. Reed scoops him up and lawn darts him into the hood of a car. Logan beats him down and sets him on top of the car. Bronson Reed is on some production crates piled up right beside the car, and then he hits a huge tsunami on top of the car. And then Adam Pearce runs in, security running in. Adam Pearce is yelling for paramedics. And then that was the show. That was it. Like I said, not a whole lot. But I want to get back to this Braun Breaker promo. So I said last week that Braun Breaker needs to win the World Heavyweight Championship on that first Raw in 2026. I think he's more than ready to. But then there's a report. Now this is a report coming from Dave Meltzer, so we're going to have to take this with a grain of salt. He says that the current favorite to win the Men's Royal Rumble match next year is Braun Breaker. And I don't like that. I don't think Braun Breaker needs to win the Royal Rumble. It wouldn't make any sense if he's going to win the world title on the Raw on Netflix on that first Raw in 2026. And then there's been this report that we're going to get Braun Breaker and CM Punk at WrestleMania for the world title. And I just don't want them to wait that long. I don't know if you can wait another 4 months, 5 months. I feel like at that point, the fans are going to get a little bit, worn out, tired of Braun Breaker versus CM Punk. I think you need to just go ahead and get it on him now. But then I heard this promo from Braun Breaker, and now I'm starting to think that maybe he is biting off more than he can chew, wanting to get the old CM Punk back. He's a dog, so I kind of threw that in there. He's biting off more than he can chew on that bone. I'm hoping that's not the case, because Braun Breaker needs to win that world title on January 6th, on January 5th, excuse me. And then you can get CM Punk away from Raw over to SmackDown so we can get CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. I'm going to keep saying it until we get to that first Raw in 2026. Braun Breaker has to win the world title. Let's not wait until WrestleMania. Let's do it now. Let's do it in a couple weeks. So, that's pretty much it. That is your Raw review for December 8th, 2025. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button and let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. What match are you looking forward to the most at Saturday night's main event this weekend? I will be doing my predictions for that show, so I'll have those predictions up sometime this week. And one more announcement. So, it's been a couple months, but I'm happy to announce that here real soon, Ryler will be making his return to Wrestling City. I cannot wait. I can't wait for him to get back here so we can pick up where we left off with the two of us. So I'm looking forward to it. We've actually got a few ideas in mind for what we want to do, what content we want to make. So yeah, we got some big things coming here soon. So hit that subscribe button. Come get locked in. Come join Wrestling City. Come help us make Wrestling City the greatest city in the world for all of your wrestling content. We do reviews, predictions, reactions, all that good stuff. If you're into any of that, then this is the place for you. Wrestling City. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. I would love to hit that goal by Christmas. Can we make that possible? It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't sign you up for anything. It only takes like 5 seconds of your time. So just hit that subscribe button. It'll help us out tremendously because we want to make Wrestling City the best place to get your pro wrestling. Just WWE though. So if you're into any of that, come join us. But that's about it. I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care. God bless. Peace.